Behind the curtained dais of the engagement banquet, Dylan's white moon, eyes rimmed crimson, clutched his sleeve. I'm scared of thunder. Tonight, don't leave me alone, okay? Dylan's heart twisted. He swung toward me, tone absolute. Cece has major depression, she can't be left. The banquet's cancelled. It's just a formality, you can manage alone. Be reasonable. Don't quarrel with a sick girl. At that exact moment I heard his inner voice, who'd marry this workaholic block of wood if not for the company's connections? Once the investment lands, I'll dump her and fly off with Cece. I gave a small nod, face blank. Fine, call it off. Not just the banquet, the whole engagement. Dylan, get lost. He froze, then sneered. Sure, Shinchingha. Your words. Don't come crying for me later. He wrapped an arm around his white moon and strode away without a backward glance. I smoothed my gown and looked to the corner, at the man flicking a lighter, face stormdark, Riverdale's crown prince, Dylan's most feared uncle by marriage, Fu Xinghe. The next second a thunderous thought exploded in my skull. Holy hell, finally split. I've waited 7 damn years. Wife, don't cry, take my life. Look at me. Look. I walked over and offered my hand. Fu, I hear you need a bride, dare you marry me? He crushed his cigarette, eyes bloodshot, voice impossibly gentle. I'm begging for the honor. Before we continue, subscribe to this channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening. Fu, I hear you need a bride, dare you marry me? He crushed the cigarette. Eyes bloodshot. Voice still gentle as silk. I'm begging for the honor. I hadn't even lowered my hand. He was already on his feet. Tall shadow swallowing me whole. That overwhelming surge of testosterone hit me in the chest. My heart skipped. Before I could react, the voice in my head detonated again. Ah. My wife proposed. Her hand is so soft. She smells amazing. Say yes. Say yes. A second's delay is disrespect. Household regist. Where is it? Oh, pocket. I carry it every day for this moment. Fu Xinghe's face stayed impassive. No ripple on that cold, ascetic mask. He adjusted his cuff. Tone indifferent, let's go. I blinked. Where? City Hall. He glanced at his watch. 40 minutes till they close. Floor the gas, we'll make it. Me, isn't this pace a bit insane? Dylan's back hadn't even vanished from the corridor and I'm off to marry his nemesis? Thrilling. I like it. I gathered my skirt and matched his stride. Fu, aren't you going to ask why? Fu Xinghe paused, turned his head, eyes fathomless. No need. If it's you, any reason works. Use me, I'm fine with that. Anyone who bullies you, I'll bury. That blind dog Dylan, just wait. Listening to his savage thoughts, I couldn't help smiling. Who would have guessed? Riverdale's living Yama that everyone fears has the heart of a love-struck teen? We got into his Bugatti Veyron. Speed vicious. I clutched the seatbelt. Glanced sideways. His knuckles sharp on the wheel. Profile cut like a blade. Brows locked. Looking annoyed. Why's this red light so long? Is traffic control targeting me? Wife's silent, regretting. Don't, please. Once you board this pirate ship, wait, my car, my person. Do I smile for the photo? Will it look immature? No smile, too mean? Urgent, waiting online. The car whipped into a flawless stop at the Civic Affairs gate. 5 minutes to closing. The clerk was packing up. Seeing Fu Xinghe's gloomy face, she dropped her stamp. Fu? He slapped 2 household registers on the desk. 2 words, marriage license. During the photo, the photographer trembled. Fu, maybe, a little closer? Fu Xinghe shifted 1 rigid centimeter. In my head he held, too close, will she think I'm gross? But I want to circle her waist. Screw it, die if I must. The next second, a warm, large hand clamped my waist. Strength enough to fuse bone to bone. Yet when I looked he stared straight ahead, righteous as a statue. Click. Red backdrop foe. To frozen. Stamp slammed down. I held the little red book, dazed. Just like that, married? To Dylan's most feared uncle? Outside the gates. Dylan's call came. I tapped answer. Impatient voice, Shen Qinghe, are you done throwing your tantrum? Cece's unstable. I'm at the hospital with her. Handle the banquet, apologize, say it's postponed. Quit the drama. You know I hate childish women. I eyed the brand new marriage certificate. Smiled. Dylan. What? FYI, the engagement banquet really is off. Smart of you. Because I just got married. Dead silence. Then a snort, Shen Qinghe, make your lies believable. Who'd dare marry a workaholic like you? I lifted my gaze. Fu Xinghe was opening my car door. He took the phone. Voice low, lazy, iced. I would say hello to auntie, nephew. Unless someone was coaching her from behind. My eyes snapped open. A chill climbed from the soles of my feet. This wasn't just a romantic falling out. It was a conspiracy aimed squarely at the Shin family. When I stepped out of the bathroom, River was on the couch reading a file. He heard the rustle of movement, lifted his gaze, let it linger for 1 second, then jerked it away. His Adam's apple slid. Look away, look away. But my wife in my shirt is crazy hot. Legs so pale, waist so tiny. River, you're a gentleman, no taking advantage. He stood up, fumbled for a glass of water, gulped. I'll sleep in the study. I paused mid-rub with the towel. You don't want me? River nearly drowned on the spot. See, come on, never. Then why? I walked toward him, step by step, crowded him into the corner, palms braced on either side of his shoulders, tilted my head to meet his eyes. We're legally married. Sleeping together is the natural order of things, right? River's breathing fractured. His irises went dark. Chingha, do you know what you're saying? I do. I hooked his neck. River, I don't like separate bedrooms. Since I'd decided to use him against the Gu clan, since I knew he loved me to the bone, why not make the first move? Besides, this man happened to suit my taste perfectly. Crimson flared again in River's eyes. He clamped my waist. Voice a rasp, you asked for it. The next instant, sky and earth flipped. Morning sunlight speared through the gap in the curtains. I shifted my aching body. The place beside me was already empty. On the nightstand sat a glass of warm water and a note, brushstrokes bold and decisive. Emergency at headquarters. Breakfast's in the microwave. Eat. Signed, your husband, River. My lips curved. I sipped the water, soothed my throat. Last night's frenzy flashed through my mind. My cheeks burned. The man looked ascetic, but in reality, he was flat out lethal. I got up to wash. In the mirror my neck was a scarf of red blotches. I sighed, pulled on a high-collar blouse. After breakfast I drove to headquarters. The second I stepped into my office, my assistant Xiao Zhao met me, face white. President Shin, it's bad. President Gu, Dylan, has finance combing the books. Claims you embezzled. I gave a cold laugh. A thief crying thief. Dylan held a meaningless VP title at Shin Holdings. Usually did squat. Suddenly he was eager. I shoved open the boardroom doors. Dylan sat in my chair, legs crossed. Lynn hovered beside him, peeling grapes. Seeing me, Dylan raised a brow. Oh, President Shin finally arrives. Why the turtleneck, hiding something? Lynn giggled behind her hand. Sis has a new flame, so the old one can go to hell, huh? I ignored their acid. Stopped before the seat, looked down at Dylan. Move. His face darkened. Shin Chingha, don't push your luck. Last month you wired 50 million somewhere. As VP I have a right to know. I glanced at the printout on the table, RD's closed fund, classified. How had he seen it? And the transfer was clean, approved by me. He was simply picking a fight. That's RD money. Do you have clearance? I'm VP. VP has limits. You oversee logistics, not tech. I yanked the FO. Folder away. Beat it. Dylan rose, leaned in, voice low. Think marrying River makes you safe? I've already flipped your major shareholders. Wait till the board meeting, enjoy your farewell. My heart lurched. Major shareholders? Those elders who'd fought beside my father, they'd never betray the Shin family. Unless Dylan had dirt on them. Or we had a ghost inside. Right then Lynn sidled over, offered a glass of water with faux concern. Sis, don't be mad, have some water, cool down. I was about to refuse when her thoughts sliced into my skull. Drink, drink, this one spiked just for you. 1 more month and your nervous system will crash. We'll lock you in a psych ward, and the Shin Empire is a yin's. Boom, thunder in my brain. I whipped my stare to Lynn. That harmless smile curved her lips, but it froze my marrow. Nervous system crash? I recalled this past half year, non-stop headaches, insomnia, lapses in memory. Hospital visits blamed stress, mild breakdown. So, not stress. Poison. I slapped the glass from her hand. It shattered, shards skittering. Lynn yelped, eyes misting instantly. Sis, why? Dylan barked, Shin Chingha. Have you lost it? I glared, limbs iced over. Now I saw. They wanted our fortune, and my life. The so-called major depression, Lynn claimed? A script to turn me into a real lunatic. Out. I pointed at the door, voice cracking. Both of you, out. Dylan snorted, dragged Lynn away. Crazy woman. Come on, babe, no arguing with a psycho. When the door slammed, I collapsed into my chair, shaking. Not from fear, from fury. I snatched my phone, dialed. Dig up everything on Lynn's background. And book me the most thorough physical money can buy. Especially, toxicology. Call ended. I gazed at the traffic 12 floors below. Cold crystallized inside me. You want my life? Then don't cry when I bury you first. Dylan. Lynn. The game just began. I tugged open my drawer, found the keepsake Dad left, a lockbound notebook. I'd never dared open it. P.S. Aid, unless the family teeters on extinction, don't look. Now, that moment was here. Fingers trembling, I keyed the password. First page, one line, beware the Goo family. The fire back then, no accident. Fire? Age 7, our house burned. Trapped, I'd have died, but a boy fought through flames to drag me out. His back blistered. I passed out. When I woke, Dylan held the boy's keepsake, swearing it was him, and I believed, gave him my loyalty. Was the rescuer never Dylan at all? Last night, while River showered, that roped scar across his back, shape, length, exactly what I remembered. The truth stabbed like a blade. 7 years I'd lived inside a colossal lie. Loved the wrong man, repaid the wrong debt, almost paid with my life. I traced Dad's ink, vision blurred. Goo family. I hissed the words. You show no mercy, expect none back. That night River returned with roses and my favorite strawberry cake. My queen had a rough day, gotta cheer her up. That Dylan's asking for death, storming her castle. I've already frozen one of Goo's money pipes, little revenge. He handed me the bouquet, eyes evasive. Just grabbed them on the road. I inhaled the scent. Lovely, thanks. Set the box on the table, didn't pounce on it like usual. River read my mood. What's wrong, still upset? I stared, focusing on the broad back under his shirt, imagining the scar even through cotton. River. Let me see your back. He froze. Park keys clattered to the floor. Holy, straight to business? It's broad daylight. Curtains open. Is my wife too hungry? Not that I mind, but, ears scarlet, he stammered. All right now? Right now. I walked over, undid his buttons, first, second, baring his chest. He stopped breathing, didn't budge, let me strip him bare. I moved behind him, trembling fingertips tracing the brutal will shoulder to flank, like an ugly centipede. To me, a medal of honor. Did it hurt? I whispered. His frame shuddered, apparently he hadn't expected the question. Not anymore. How'd you get it? A pause. Kid stuff, playing with fire. Lie. Clearly from saving me. Why hide it? Can't say it was for her. Dylan stole the credit, she believes he's the hero. If I speak now, it'll sound like boasting, or trying to break them up. As long as she's happy, what does the name matter? Idiot. Giant sweet idiot. Tears burst free. I hugged him from behind, cheek glued to the scalding skin, soaking him. River, you colossal fool. Panicked, he turned, cupped my face. Why cry? Did the scar scare you? I'll keep my shirt on. I rose on tiptoe, kissed him silent. Long moments. When I pulled back, my gaze was steel. River, let's partner up. Partner? I'm taking the Goo clan down. Dylan and Lynn will beg for death. A flash of savagery crossed his eyes, then gentleness. Deal. You want blood, I bring the knife. You want flames, I pour the gas. Next few days I stayed calm on the surface, schemed underneath. Physical report landed. As expected, my blood carried a rare chronic neurotoxin. Long-term exposure, psychosis, organ failure. Available on the black market. I locked the file in my safe, bulletproof evidence for prison. But prison was too kind. First they would lose what they worshipped, fame, status, fortune. Board meeting day arrived. Dylan struck on cue. He flung documents across the table. Directors, Shinchingha embezzled, our cash chain is cracked. Her psyche's unstable, she must be removed. I moved to dismiss her. His board directors chimed in at once. For the company's sake, fresh leadership. Dylan smirked, sure of victory. I sat center, sipped tea unhurried. Finished? He frowned. What defense do you have? I clapped. The doors swung open, officers filed in. The lead detective flashed a badge. Dylan, you're accused of commercial fraud, embezzlement, and attempted murder by poisoning. Please come with us. Silence clouded the room. Dylan's grin fossilized. Preposterous, framing me. I have proof. I produced the toxicology report and an audio clip, Lynn haggling in a black market pharmacy, courtesy of River. That day at the hospital I'd slipped a bug into her purse. Her voice rang clear, this stuff really won't show up. I want the type that rots the brain slow. Dylan's face strained to chalk. He stared, terror blooming. You knew all along? I rose, stopped in front of him, smiled. Dylan, I warned you, don't poke the dragon. Officers cuffed him. He thrashed. Lynn did it, I'm innocent. Take him. As they dragged him out, the directors sat frozen, those who'd flipped were sweating lakes. I swept the room. Anyone else want my chair? No one breathed. Good. Next agenda, repurchasing Goose shares in Shin Holdings. Then my phone rang. Lynn, video call. I picked up. She stood on a rooftop, hair whipping across her face, a knife at her throat. Shin Chingha, release a yen or I jump. The world will watch you drive me to death, life. Watching Lynn teeter on the ledge screen, I felt zero panic, only dark amusement. Jump. I said it flat. 28 floors, guaranteed messy. Saves me a job. She gaped, unprepared for ice. She shrieked, monster. I'm streaming, look. I noticed the second phone propped beside her, live streaming to TikTok. Comments scrolled like locusts. Classic dynasty wife bullies mistress to suicide. Mistress or not, telling her to die is savage. Call cops. Lynn sobbed to the lens, selling tragedy. I only loved someone, am I wrong? Shin stole my man, now hounds me to death. I'm clinically depressed, I can't go on. As brainless netizens started flaming me, my eyes chilled. A smear campaign? Honey, I wrote that playbook. River. I glanced at the man lounging in the corner. I need a favor. He crushed his cigarette, strode over. Name it. Dump her black market drug clip and proof she faked depression for cash, all over the internet. And kill her stream. River smirked, tapped his phone. Done. The screen cut to black. Immediately after, the entire internet exploded. Hashtag CC Lynn poisoning hashtag. Hashtag fake depression real murder hashtag Dylan CC Lynn conspiracy to seize assets hashtag one after another. High definition videos, audio clips, and wire transfer records were made public. Netizens reversed their verdict overnight. Holy crap, this woman's lethal. Poison? I actually pitted her 5 minutes ago. Turns out she's a femme fatale. Depression? More like money crazed. Shin's the real victim, almost murdered, then cyber-lynched. Up on the rooftop, CC Lynn stared at the comments rolling across her screen. Her face was paper white. The knife in her hand trembled. No, impossible. How did this happen? She'd planned to use her death to blackmail me and tank my reputation in one swoop. Instead, she'd hammered the final nail into her own coffin. I smiled coldly at the live feed. CC Lynn, the act flopped. Now, jump. Fair warning, cops are already downstairs. Jump and you're dead, don't jump and you rot in prison. Your call. With that, I ended the call. Riverdale slid his arms around me from behind, chin nestling in the hollow of my neck. Wifey's so cool. She's on a rampage. That glare, total main character energy. But will CC Lynn really jump? Death she deserves, but it'll dirty the pavement. Relax, she hasn't the guts. My voice was certain. A coward like her? Suicide isn't in her script. Sure enough, half an hour later, word arrived, CC Lynn had been hauled away in cuffs. She'd frozen on the ledge for 10 minutes, then her legs buckled, officers tackled her before she could move. The farce was over. Dylan and CC Lynn were both behind bars. The Fu Dynasty stock nosedived on the scandal. Partners tore up contracts left and right. Old Fu keeled over from rage and was wheeled into the ICU. The Fu family, finished. I sat in my executive office, gazing at the neon nightscape outside. No triumph rushed through me, only the dull fatigue of a saga finally closed. Just then, the door swung open. Riverdale strode in carrying a thermal food jar. Eat. He laid out dish after dish, all my favorites. Tonight it's the pork rib soup you love. Watching him bustle, warmth pooled in my chest. Riverdale. Thank you. His hands stilled. He turned, eyes deep as midnight. I told you, family doesn't say thanks. Besides. He stepped closer, palms braced on the armrests, caging me in, voice low and husky. If you really want to thank me, how about we try a new position tonight? My face flamed. I shoved him. Pervert. He chuckled softly. Heh, wifey's shy. Still, now that Dylan's locked up, the old fox isn't dead yet. Word is he still owns that riverfront parcel your family's always wanted. Need to pry it loose as dowry for my girl. My heart skipped. That parcel, exactly what the company needed most right now. Prime commercial land in South Riverdale, snag it and the company's footprint doubles. The fuss had sworn they'd never sell. But now, the perfect moment to strike. Riverdale. That land, any ideas? He raised a brow. You heard? I played dumb. Heard what? He gave me a look that said he saw right through me but let it slide. Relax, leave it to me. The deed will be on your desk within 3 days. Watching his easy confidence, I leaned in and pecked his cheek. Amazing, hubby. His whole body froze, then he took control, deepening the kiss. Ah. Wifey praised me. Wifey kissed me. She can have the moon, I'll lasso it tonight. In the haze of rising heat, urgent knocks rattled the door. President Shen. Emergency. Secretary Zhao's voice cracked. RD, there's a fire. What? I shoved Riverdale away and sprinted to the window. Downstairs, the RD floor belched black smoke, flames clawing at the glass. My heart plummeted. That lab was the company's lifeblood, my father's only legacy. Fu family. I clenched my fists, nail-slicing crescents into my palms. Retaliation, cornered rats strike back. Sirens wailed. Chaos swallowed the tower. I bolted for the stairwell. Chingha, stop. Riverdale snatched my arm. It's too dangerous. N. Oh. The core data's inside. I screamed, eyes bloodshot. The chip's source code, no backups. Lose that and we're doomed. Not merely money, my father's lifelong work, technology the country urgently needed. It could not burn on my watch. Riverdale read the iron in my gaze, bit his lip. I'll go. You wait outside. Before I could protest, he grabbed a soaked coat, slung it on, and vanished into the smoke. Riverdale. I tried to follow, security hauled me back. President Shen, you can't. It's lethal. I could only stare as that tall silhouette disappeared into the inferno, my heart ripping in two. 7 years ago, fire had swallowed everything. Was history repeating? Would I lose the one I treasured most? Riverdale, come back safe. I sank to the floor, tears streaming. Each second stretched into an eternity. Fire trucks screeched up, jets of water battled the blaze, but the flames were ravenous, nowhere near tamed. RD sat on the 18th floor. How could he escape? As despair crushed me, a collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Someone's out. Look. I jerked my head up. At the building's entrance, a soot-black figure staggered forward, cradling a silver drive against his chest. The company's beating heart. I sprinted like a madwoman, catching him as he collapsed. Riverdale. His body burned with fever, the once immaculate suit hung in charred ribbons, face and hands blistered. Yet his eyes blazed brighter than the fire. He pressed the drive into my palm, tugged cracked lips into a grin. Mission accomplished. Wifey, don't cry. The words slurred, his head lolled, unconscious. At the same time, that familiar mental chatter exploded in my skull, weaker, still a motor mouth. Scared the hell out of me, almost never saw wifey again. Good thing the drive's fireproof, or I'd have suffered for nothing. Was my exit heroic? Probably looked cool, just a bit messy. She's crying so hard, want to hug her, but everything hurts. I held him, sobbing like the world had dead. Idiot. Worried about looking cool while his skin burned? Paramedics thundered up. I gripped his hand the entire ride, refusing to let go even for a second. They wheeled him into surgery, the red light flared on. I slumped against the corridor wall, the warm drive still in my fist, my gaze icing over into a blade. Officers approached. Shen, we've apprehended the arsonist. It was the Fu family butler. Confession, old Fu gave the order. I shut my eyes, inhaled once, opened them again, only vengeance remained. Fu family. This time, you will pay in blood. 5 hours under the knife. Every minute an agony. At last, the surgeon emerged, no danger to life, extensive burns across his back plus smoke inhalation trauma, long convalescence. My heart finally unclenched. Inside the suite, Riverdale lay on his stomach, torso wrapped in gauze. Anesthesia still glazed his eyes, he drifted in and out. I sat beside him, fingertips brushing his. Staring at that pale, handsome face, I swore a silent oath. From this day on, I guard you. Next morning he woke. Seeing me slumped at his side, he tried to shift, a hiss tore from his throat as stitches pulled. Ack, I jolted awake. You're up? Don't move, doctor says stay prone. He obeyed, head turned to me, gaze soft as warm honey. Scared you, huh? I shook my head, tears threatened again. Riverdale, was it worth it? Almost dying for a chunk of hardware? He lifted a faint smile. It's your heart's blood. Your things outweigh my life. Besides, it's what your dad left you. If I can't protect that, what kind of man am I? As long as you're happy, I'd dive into oil next. Though I'll have new scars, uglier, will wifey ditch me? Can we still sleep naked? Urgent, waiting online. I laughed through tears, bent down, brushed his lips. Won't ditch you. Whatever you become, I love. He froze, ears burned scarlet. Is my girl confessing? Ah. Pain gone, I'm invincible. After settling him, I stepped into the corridor. The tendern SS drained, icy killing intent took its place. I lifted my phone, dialed. Move. Erase the Fu family within 7 days. The following week Riverdale convulsed. The company allied with Riverdale, launching a full-scale siege on the Fu dynasty. Stock price cratered. Banks froze credit. Suppliers demanded payment. Already mired in scandal, the fuss imploded overnight. Old Fu, hearing the news in ICU, flatlined again. Fu ran door to door, tasting every slammed door. Once untouchable titans became rats in the gutter. 3 days later, I strode into the Fu ancestral home, riverfront deed in hand. Fu lunged like a fury. Qinghe Shen, you toxic shrew. Haven't you ruined us enough? Bodyguards blocked her. I tossed the transfer at her feet. Sign. The last asset your clan owns. Sign, and I'll spare you the gutter, leave Riverdale forever. Refuse, and prison swallows you whole. Hands trembling, she scooped up the pages, wailing until her voice cracked. Retribution, retribution. Yet she signed, no choice. Outside the gates, I stared at the once palatial villa, heart calm as still water. Dylan, C.C. Lin, the Fu dynasty, every debt, concluded. Back at the hospital, Riverdale lay scrolling finance news on his tablet. Seeing the announcement of Fu's bankruptcy, his lips curled. Nicely executed. That's my girl, ruthless, I adore it. Family finances can safely rest in her hands. I'll focus on being pretty, no, on raking in cash. I walked over, fed him a Mandarin segment. What are you reading? How My Wife Leveled the City. He nipped my fingertip, eyes smoldering. President Shen, keep me. I laughed, leaned to his ear. Deal. But performance review first. His gaze darkened. Performance? Once these bandages are off, you won't walk for 3 days. You asked for it. Heat flooded my cheeks. Could the man think of anything but dirty stocks? He pulled out an exquisite velvet box from behind his back. Opened it. Inside was a diamond necklace that blazed with light. The center stone was a rare pink diamond. Priceless. This is. I bought it 7 years ago. Dylan's eyes were deep. I'd meant to give it to you on your 18th birthday. But that day you confessed to Dylan. So the necklace stayed locked in the safe. Now it's finally waited for its owner. My eyes stung. So. He had loved me this long. Through years I never sensed, he had silently watched over me. Dylan. Put it on me. He lifted the necklace. Carefully fastened it around my throat. Cool diamonds met my skin, but warmth flooded my heart. Just then, outside the window, countless blossoms of fireworks exploded across the night. Brilliant, dazzling, they lit the entire sky. The fireworks shaped a line of letters, Qinghe Shen, happy birthday. I clapped a hand over my mouth, tears streaming. This man, he always manages to astonish me. Dylan wrapped his arms around me from behind, chin resting on my head. Wife's crying? Too touched? These fireworks cost me a fortune, custom made, whole city can see. I want the world to know Qinghe Shen is my woman. No one else gets to lay a finger on her. I turned around, rose on tiptoe, and kissed him first. Dylan. I love you. It was the first time I'd said those 3 words to him. Dylan's whole body shook. His pupils dilated. Holy, did I hear that right? Wife said she loves me? My life is complete. I can die happy now. He seized the back of my head, deepening the kiss, passionate and lingering, as if he meant to fuse me to his body. In that instant I heard the most sincere voice of his heart. Qinghe, thank you for coming to me. The rest of my life is for spoiling you with everything I have. Days flew. With me at the helm of the company and the full backing of the Fu dynasty, we successfully developed the new chip. On launch day, the globe watched. Our share price soared. I became the youngest female titan in the business world. At the victory banquet glasses clinked. I wore a red evening gown. Dylan's arm hooked in mine, weaving through the guests. Dylan was in a black haute couture suit. The burns on his back had mostly healed, he looked radiant. Yet his eyes stayed glued to me. Wife looks stunning tonight. Isn't that back a bit low? Knew I shouldn't have let her choose this dress. President Wang keeps staring, one more look and I'll gouge his eyes out. I want to go home, cuddle my wife. I pinched him. Focus, this is networking. He gave a pitiful pout. But you're prettier than any of them. Just then commotion erupted at the door. An unexpected figure appeared, Dylan's mother. She wore tattered clothes, hair disheveled, all former grande dame poise gone. Clutching a megaphone, she stormed the hall, shouting. Chingha Shen. You heartless witch. You ruined my family. You'll pay. Look, everyone, the president of Shen Industries. Vicious and cruel. Guests turned. Security moved to eject her. I raised a hand to stop them. The more you hide, the guiltier you look. I released Dylan's arm and walked toward her, step by calm step. Expression serene. Goo, long time no see. She jabbed a finger at me. How dare you greet me? If you hadn't seduced Dylan, our family would never have fallen. You're a jinx. I smiled, but the chill never reached my eyes. Goo, food can be eaten at random, words cannot. The Goo family collapsed due to mismanagement and Dylan's crimes. What has that to do with me? As for seduction, I glanced back at Dylan. Honey, she says I seduced you? Dylan strode over, slid an arm around my waist, wore a cold as he regarded her. Sister-in-law, looks like senility's kicking in. I was the one who shamelessly begged Chingha to marry me. How can that be called seduction? Gasps swept the room. The Crown Prince of Riverdale admitting he begged? That's devotion. Goo sputtered, wordless. You. Dylan flicked an impatient hand. Throw the madwoman out. If anyone lets her in again, break their legs. Security dragged the still screaming woman away. The farce ended with that casual command. But I knew it wasn't enough. I would use the moment to cement my authority. I took the mic, stepped onto the stage, surveyed the room. Ladies and gentlemen, while we're all here, allow me to announce something. The company will formally take over every remaining asset of the Goo Group. And will establish a charity foundation to fund those partners and employees victimized by Goo. Applause thundered. With one move I had swallowed the Goo clan whole and earned a sterling reputation, a double kill. Below the stage Dylan watched me, radiant, pride filling his eyes. That's the woman I chose. Fierce, shrewd, and with a kind heart. I must have saved the galaxy in a past life to marry her. After the banquet we returned to the hillside penthouse. The instant the door shut Dylan pinned me to the wall, breathing hard. Wife, you were mesmerizing tonight. I've been holding back for hours. I hooked my arms around his neck, eyes sultry. Then what are you waiting for? Foo, feast away. He growled, scooped me into his arms, and bolted for the bedroom. The night was destined to be sleepless. Morning came. Every muscle ached. Seeing the man still asleep beside me, I couldn't resist drawing a little turtle on his face. That'll teach you to overindulge. Just then his eyes snapped open, catching my wrist, clear as day, no trace of sleep. Having fun drawing, wife? I jumped. You're awake? He rolled, pressing me beneath him, wicked grin forming. I was asleep. But I felt someone taking liberties. Since you're in the mood, how about morning exercise? And no. The protest was ignored. Devoured again. The chip project was a smash. The company's market cap multiplied several-fold. I finally had breathing room. One day Dylan said mysteriously, clear your evening. Something up? Something big. He wouldn't elaborate, only told me to dress beautifully. At 7 the driver dropped me at Central Plaza downtown. The SQUA was empty except for a single spotlight in the center. Baffled, I walked toward it, when every surrounding screen flared to life. A video played. It was all me. Studying in the college library, working overtime at headquarters, feeding stray cats on the curb, even little me with twin braids crying over scraped knees. Every frame recorded my growth and his gaze. So he really had watched me all these years. At the end the image froze on a photo, our marriage license snapshot. Slowly words appeared, from the fire the year you were age 7, to the courthouse when you were 27. I walked 20 years to reach your side. Tears burst free, I covered my mouth, sobbing. Then Dylan emerged from the darkness cradling an enormous bouquet of red roses. He wore a white suit, like a prince from a fairy tale. Stopping before me, he went down on one knee, holding a diamond even larger than the pink diamond necklace. Eyes devout and burning. Chingha. Though we already have the license, I owe you a proper proposal. I don't want your marriage to hold a single regret. Marry me, will you? Let me spend the rest of my life making up for those 20 lost years. At that instant his heart's voice overlapped his spoken one. Wife, say yes already. My knee's cramping, but the pose has to be perfect. If you refuse, I'll keep kneeling till you agree. I love you more than myself. I nodded through tears, held out my hand. I will. Dylan, I will. Trembling, he slipped the ring onto my finger, then stood and hugged me tight. Suddenly crowds poured out, friends, employees, Fu relatives. Everyone cheered. Kiss. Kiss. Cupping my face, he kissed me deeply. That kiss stopped time and sealed our happiness. When the proposal ended we went home. I stared at the ring on my hand, it felt unreal. Dylan. When did you start liking me? He was removing my makeup, movements gentle. A long time ago. So long. I forget when exactly. Maybe in the fire, when you clutched my shirt and called me big brother. Or during your school speech contest, when you sparkled. Anyway, I just did. And only ever you. My heart felt sweet. Suddenly I remembered. Since you liked me so early, why didn't you tell me sooner? Letting Dylan fool me for so long. His hand paused. Because I was insecure. That burned scar on my back, I thought it'd scare you. And though Dylan's a bastard, he played the gentleman in front of you. I was afraid of ruining my image. Who knew that punk was pure scum? He sighed. I was guilty. From now on I'll tell you everything. I laughed, hugged his waist. Fine, forgiven. You've earned it. His eyes lit up. Then, reward tonight? I flushed. Pervert. Only for you. The wedding was set 1 month later, in Bali, grand, lavish. Half of Hollywood and the business elite attended. I wore a snow-white gown, Dylan's hand in mine, walking the flower-strewn aisle. Sea breeze drifting, sunlight perfect. During vows Dylan's eyes reddened, voice choked. Ching Hashen. I, Dylan, have few ambitions in life. My only wish is your happiness. Rich or poor, sick or healthy, I will be there. My own eyes brimmed. Dylan. Thank you for giving me a home. I love you, till death. When we exchanged rings, applause thundered. The bouquet toss, I turned deliberately and lobbed the flower straight at my secretary Zoe. Zoe stood stunned, clutching the bouquet. Beside her Dylan's assistant blushed crimson. Looks like another couple in the making. Night, our wedding night. Dylan had drunk a little, eyes hazy, arms locked around me. Wife. I'm so happy. Me too. He buried his head in my neck, nuzzling like a big puppy. Really so happy. Wife is finally completely mine. This life, next life, the one after, I'm sticking to her. I stroked his hair, heart soft. Suddenly I wanted to tell him the secret of my mind reading. Since we'd share a lifetime, I wouldn't hide a thing. Dylan. I need to tell why. Owe you something. He lifted his head, drowsy. What? Tired? Then let's sleep? No. I cupped his face, looked straight into his eyes. Actually, I can hear your inner voice. Dylan froze, like lightning had struck. After ages he stammered, what? My mind? The things you think, I hear them. Like just now, you're planning to haunt me next life. And our first meeting, wife smells so good. At the hospital you worried the burn scar was ugly. As I listed each one his face cycled white, red, purple, liver. He yanked the quilt over his head and wailed, Aya. Kill me. I can't show my face again. Holy hell. She knew? All those filthy thoughts, those sappy confessions. And when I played cool while mentally ranting, social death, ultimate. Does my wife think I'm a pervert? Laughing, I tugged the quilt away and snuggled into his arms. No hiding. I don't think you're a pervert. I think you're adorable. Dylan peeked out with one eye. Really? Really. In fact, because I could hear your heart, I dared marry you so quickly. I knew your love matched your actions, even deeper. His gaze brightened. He threw the quilt off and hugged me again, this time with no reservations. Since you can hear, then I'll speak to you in my mind. He closed his eyes, forehead to mine. The next second a deafening, love-soaked thought thundered in my head. Ching Hashen, I love you. So much. To my very bones. Smiling, I answered, I love you too, my foo. Moonlight poured outside, spring filled the room. Our story has only just begun. Thank you for listening. If you liked this video, please like and share with friends. We look forward to your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more great stories. See you next time.